There's a tried and true way of getting rid of credit card debt, and this is of absolute importance for anyone. Okay, so consumers actually took on an additional $92.2 billion last year. This is a big problem because it was the highest amount ever since 2007, the collapse that happened back then. The tried and true classic method of getting rid of your credit card debt but it's important to do this before you tank your credit score. I've done it myself after the classic lesson of putting too much money on your credit card. So what you do is you go and you get another credit card. Yes, I know it's counterintuitive. You get another credit card that has a 0% APR, and therefore you transfer your balance from one credit card to the 0% APR credit card. Now, usually they do this as an introductory deal, an introductory period for 12 months, 13 months, etc. You do this way you avoid paying the compounded interest. The compounded interest alone can add up to thousands and thousands of dollars if you just keep making the minimum payments and the compounded interest keep going up and up. Because you can still make that minimum payment, the same minimum payment you were doing before, just do it with 0% APR, 0% interest for that 12, 13 month period. Now, if you need to buy something, a big purchase, I would suggest you use something other than a credit card. The reason why is because of the compounding interest. You just end up paying so much more in the long haul. If you have a big purchase, use something like Affirm. They don't have compounded interest. They have a simple interest. And no, this video is not sponsored by Affirm. That's the classic tried and true method of getting rid of your credit card payments. This way, you can save your credit score. So now the US average household owes about $8,600, according to WalletHub. Actually, ABC News did a report on this, and they interviewed this lady from WalletHub. Now, she came up with this bizarre mental jujitsu to try to basically tell us that the reason why most people are in debt with credit card is actually because they're just saving money. They're saving their money. Highly doubt that's true because people can't pay their bills. That's why they're using credit card. But it is spooky that for the first time ever in history, credit card debt by consumers did pass the $1 trillion mark. Okay, so here's the kicker by senior analyst at WalletHub. The accumulation of debt, according to her, this is a perfect example of how mental jujitsu is used to basically legitimize a certain perspective, adding a sort of a rosy outlook to all the chaos that's happening around us. It's mind-boggling. Anyway, so she frames it that the accumulation of debt is reflected, or is a reflection of Americans' confidence in the economy. Okay, so basically she's saying that the more people owe, the more they borrow, it just means that they're very confident in the economy. I really don't think that's true. Food inflation alone is like 200% in some cases. So I don't think people are putting debt on credit cards because they're just confident in the economy. Annoyingly, she goes on to say, we've never seen anything like this. Here's a screenshot. She said that consumer confidence, it's at its highest point ever. Since the recession, people have been saving up for houses, cars, new furniture, appliances, which often get charged to credit cards. These people are living in fantasy land. With banks collapsing, we have the Fed basically taking over certain banks because they're insolvent. They can't function. They can't even run themselves. But somehow, they're very confident in the economy. The same clown later on in the article, she says, people are spending so much more than they actually have. They can't keep up with the bills. That means that the jig is up. They're not spending because of confidence in the economy. They're spending because they have to. They need to pay their bills. Fantasy land. And even the average credit score is actually lower than the collapse in 2007, 2008. That's sitting at 675. It's lower, 4 points lower than it was back then in 07, 08. So it's pretty crazy. On top of that, WalletHub goes on to say that delinquency rates are actually continuing to rise. People can't pay off the very credit cards. So it's absolutely crazy that these clowns are saying that the economy is so strong. Psychotic. But that's it for this one, guys. Hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching. Smash the like if you haven't. Please do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.